If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale, and we're here at New World Stages in the heart of Manhattan's Theater District, home to my show, The Imbible, a spirited history of drinking. And we're gonna make a really fun drink to start off this week. Out of due respect for intellectual property rights laws in this country, I'm gonna call it a churned cream ale. And you can kind of figure out where we're going with that if you haven't already. And you probably can figure out who our special guests are already. But we're gonna start with about 1 ounce of a syrup that I made from churned cream, AKA butter, and brown sugar. And because this is adult actors, I'm going to add some dark rum to this, about 1 ounce of Zaya dark rum. And then I'm going to top it up with some cream soda. And I want to leave just a little bit of room at the top of each drink for our special whipped topping. But before I put that on, I want to just mix that syrup into the soda a bit. Just make sure that's nicely incorporated. And then we will add our special whipped topping, and you can get the full recipe, including the recipe for the syrup and the whipped topping, on the website, BroadwayBartender.com, as well as links to the show that we are about to introduce. Let's do some straws here. And I'm sure you know by now, this week we are talking to the cast of PUFFS, or 7 increasingly eventful years at a certain school of magic and magic. Lots of respect for intellectual property right laws today. But we have Nick Carrillo, welcome, Andy Miller, and James Foey, and here is your churned cream ale.
Thank you.
Now, I'm sure you guys have had probably a million versions of this particular drink, but let me know what you think of this one.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
and welcome to Broadway Bartender.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Does that work for you?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a milkshake.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a root beer float.
Yeah.
It's an alcoholic root beer float. That's great for summer.
It is.
Yeah. Cool, awesome.
That's
So, PUFFS, which I just saw last night.
Oh, yay.
Yay, you guys are amazing. Like, I was blown away. So first of all, I'm a huge fan of the subject matter, but I love what you guys did with it. It was unbelievably entertaining on so many different levels. And what I thought was great is obviously the room was full of huge fans of the series. But I just thought the story you told was wonderful, really well done. The talent on stage was just unbelievable. I thought it was going to be sort of a send-up of the material, the source material. It was really a parallel story.
It's a lot like what Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
There you go.
to Hamlet.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
You
exactly,
see these
exactly.
two characters out in the background, but you see it completely from their perspective. And that's what this show is. It's all the, there's the lead boy that we all know, Harry, and it's his story, but you see it from the Puffs who were in the background, and they were the ones that, people just kind of shoved to the side, but you see, because the idea is like, what was it like going to that school with all this crazy stuff happening, and you're just there just to go to school and learn magic, and there's just nuts stuff happening, you're just trying to be a kid,
Right, and they fill in a lot of the questions that I think the reader, after you're so deep in the books, you start thinking, well, there's got to be other stuff going on in this supposed school, right? Where's the actual school stuff? And you guys really shine a light on the fact that there's a very rich life going on outside the story that's told through the main characters.
The idea that someone's human experience matters even if they're not the chosen one.
Right.
That these things have impact on real people's lives, at least in this world, and what would that be to be just a regular person, whose life still matters to them.
If this is a little cryptic to you, I'm hoping everybody got this already, but PUFFS the play, and you can kind of check out exactly all the stuff. So tell me, first of all, let's go through your roles in the show, the main roles, and then some of the other roles that you play.
Snake spells!
Jay Finch sees a snake! Jay Finch is gonna die!
My main role is Jay Finch Fletchley. He's the main like puff. We all have kind of like our main puff that we play. And then other than that, I play Hermione at one point. There's several Hermiones. I play Goyle. I play a Death Buddy. I play a
Death Buddy?
Yeah, that's what we call them, Death
Yeah,
Buddies.
sure, of course.
And then a bunch of I play the Fat Friar. And then my favorite character I play is Zach Smith, which is the sports guy that I get to improvise.
Unbelievable,
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
The change that from everything else we've seen you do to that point, I was literally like, is that the same actor? That was unbelievable, man. How do you make that change that abruptly? I mean, this is a completely different guy with a different backstory, a different front story, a different everything, different physicality to him.
I think all the other characters I'm acting, and then I finally just get to be myself when I'm him. No.
Not a joke. That's real.
No. It's just, I don't know, it's just a fun character that I just love to get in my bones and play, and I love playing characters too, so it's just like a fun thing to do that, to switch and have that different, from like Jay Finch, my main character, who's so sweet and bubbly and boyish and fun, as he says, and then to go to that mean-spirited, terrible human being that is Zach Smith. Yeah, it's just fun, yeah. Love doing that
Has
stuff.
so much freedom. That's the thing about
Yeah,
it
I get
too.
to improvise at every show, so I get to improvise like a bit of the joke.
Really?
Yeah, the setup is the same, but then I get to improvise a joke and kind of mess with them on stage and everything. So
Us poor people on stage just have to like suffer through whatever he does to us.
yeah, because I try to make them break every night. So
He succeeds most nights.
We don't know what's coming there. I'm watching from off stage. And I have to say too, you're talking about him making the switch. I've seen him when he's not like maybe doing so well, because actors get sick like everybody else. But there is a strength that comes into him.
They need to go yell at us on stage.
And how long have you been with the production?
since the beginning, since its conception, I was there for the. It had its first reading, which it was like still processing, which you were part of.
It was like the first half of it.
First half of it, which
Yeah.
I went to go see, and then they asked me to be a part of it, so then I entered the second reading, which was pretty much mostly full, and then from there I was with it
The whole time?
the whole time, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Andy, talk to me.
Yes. My main character is Leanne.
Yes.
She is like the puffiest puff. It lives in her own world. I also get to play Ginny and Helga, and I'm an evil person every now and then, and Scorpius at the end. Yeah, that's maybe one or two like bits.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those
And
are the
again,
mains.
the thing that
Oh, and Frenchie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because
And
I
he's
play
Frenchie.
Victor.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
play
Frenchie.
Victor. Yeah.
Right. When you came out as Ginny, what you do with your voice is just incredible. Are you a singer? I mean, how do you have that kind of vocal control?
Yeah. I started when I was younger in musical theater. Moved to New York, and here I am. So,
Where'd you move from?
Michigan,
Really?
in the Midwest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And did you go to school for acting and theater?
I did at Michigan State University.
Excellent
Go
program.
Green.
Yes, absolutely. Wow,
so
congratulations. And you've been with the show as long as Nick, or
A little longer, because I was
Really?
in that first reading.
that you saw her?
So
in?
like a week longer than Nick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the 2 readings, and then we did the run at the Pit, and then we moved to the Electra, and now we're moving to New World stages.
We have
And
moved.
You have moved, because I saw you here last
Yes.
night.
Well, we open tonight. It's our opening night.
Oh, right. There was,
Yeah.
I still saw a preview.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations on opening night.
Thank
That's
you.
fantastic.
We are not a threat. Please be our friend.
Talk to me.
So my main puff is Cedric.
Yes.
Which there's the cool thing there that that's the character when I show up, everybody already does know and
Right.
associates with the Puffs. And then I play others, which is more of a surprise,
Right.
which is a lot of fun. But yeah, Cedric's my main guy. And it's a really interesting thing to play somebody that comes in with expectations, where so much of our show is people that you're getting a look at that are in the books, but you don't get as much focus on. And I show up and people are already excited, and then I have to try to live up to that.
Yeah.
Well, you do, man. One of the greatest entrances I've seen in a long time. I actually, as I mentioned, I actually got to shake your hand as you made this fantastic entrance into the theater. Really, I would think challenging role physically, because again, there's so much physicality in the show. It seems like, and your physical presence on stage, to me, really set the character before you even started talking. Is that something that you think about?
I think what that comes from is trying to think about why this Puff, who are the Puffs being the least cool of all the houses, why is this Puff cool? Where does that come from? How is it he's able to get away with that when the others aren't so much?
No, yeah.
Okay.
And not just cool. I mean, like super cool.
Well,
like,
I think what that is, and what I try to put into my physicality, is an enjoyment of life and an ease, and that things are going to work out. You know, that he is a Puff, and that bad things have happened to him too, and he's been treated the way everybody else was treated when they first got to this school. But he made peace with it and is able to see the bright side of things. And so when he comes out, it's with that readiness to have a good time, with an openness that good things will happen too. And I try to put that in my body. So hopefully that comes off.
It comes off in spades, my friend. I mean, just really, really well done. Honestly, I can't tell you how impressed I am with the performances and the entire cast. But you guys just really blew me away, man. Just incredible. How long have you been with the production?
The least of these three, which is funny because I feel like I've been with it for a while, but it's not the same as the 2 years, right? So for me, it's coming up on a year. Where when they made the move from the Pit to the Electra, I came in for that part. I was the one person who was new, and I still am. I'm the newest
of the whole cast.
Yeah.
Really?
Having been there,
we hazed them pretty bad. We hazed them pretty bad.
Really?
No, we didn't.
So everyone else has been with it longer?
Yeah, the whole cast, it's been the same except for his track the entire time.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, it's a gift, really.
It's wonderful. Yeah. It's also a very interesting thing to come into, where I've never been a part of a show where I felt like I was walking into a finely tuned machine, where everybody, not just were good at their roles, but also it had sunken into their bones. They knew what it was. When things were changed for them, they were already so comfortable they could make those adjustments easily because they had the core just set.
Right.
And I just had to try to get up to speed.
Wow.
Like jumping onto a moving treadmill, and keep up with everybody.
When it was in its sort of infancy and you didn't really know what you had, was there a sense of sort of nervousness because you're dealing with such treasured source material?
Yeah.
Was there a little bit of like, I wonder how the fans are going to respond to this? Or did you know right away that like they were just going to embrace it and it was just going to like tickets were going to fly out the door?
I mean, I think we were all just having fun at first. Like there was no like, oh, I need this to work or I'm not going to eat this week, And we just continued having fun. And then Tilted Windmills, our producers, found us and they were like, oh, this is great. Let's come with us to the Electra. And that was when we were like, oh, okay, we're doing okay. And the source material, the world already has so many fans, but I think, they maybe come in expecting just 90 minutes of laughs, but we try to give them so much more than that.
Right.
And there's so many moments that are like, heartbreaking too. So it's not about just spoofing material. It's about creating this storyline and creating these characters that you love and, having the audience come with you and be like, oh, there's more to this world than, we already love the world and now there's so much more that we can love even more.
Right.
So it's, I'm not really, I was never worried like, uh-oh, they're gonna, because we were, we like checked all the books for inconsistencies. I think one of the lines was like, and then a random boy said this, and somebody reread the book and was like, it's actually a girl. And they were like, the writer was like, oh, okay, and changed the line to like, a girl said this. So
Remember
it's like so specific.
Jesse's character name had to be switched.
Oh,
yes,
it yes.
One of the women in the show had her original name. We figured out we had to change it because it was a Summer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I say the full name, but it was like, we're like, oh, Summer, that's a female, you'll be this character, and they found out that it was actually a boy, so they had to change change your character's name, but we found another one, and we were able to adjust it. But it was like things like that we wanted to absolutely make sure that everything was consistent.
Yeah, because people are going to pick that stuff right up.
Oh yeah.
But the writers and the producers have such respect for like the original stuff, so it's at no point.
I was gonna say love too,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think
Right,
that's the
clearly.
thing for is connecting with hardcore fans of the series, and when they come to the show, and I got to see it, before being in it, and I remember being in that room with people who loved the work, and that there was just this tremendous energy that that love was shared by the cast, that was from both sides of the room that was coming together.
Wow. So there was absolutely an attention to detail. I mean, you knew that you were going to be subject to the highest levels of scrutiny. But the fan sites love you guys. I mean, the reviews that I read online, they love you guys.
Yeah, when we first started at the Pit, there was an article written at Hypeable, and it got translated into French, and it was like all over the place, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That
'cause,
was crazy.
Speaking of like how we felt it was going to be, because like you're absolutely right, we had a lot of fun. Like what's been cool is that since the beginning, like the cast has just clicked, and like everybody and the production team, everybody on it, and like James came in, didn't skip a beat. Like we were just like, this guy's great. So we were just like, it's been amazing time. And like that was the thing of like, hey, if anything, this is fun. And then right away, tickets started selling out. The people were like, well, this is good. It's just because it's going. But then that Hypeable article came out and it shared everywhere, and we were like, whoa, this is like okay, this is crazy. This is really cool.
Because we originally had like a 2-month run.
Yeah, it was
and then
just
they were
we'll
like,
see.
we'll extend it for another month. And they were like, well, let's extend it for one more month. Hey, let's go to another theater and do another 150 shows. Yeah. So and now we're here for an unlimited run.
Open run.
Open run.
Open run.
And it's
run.
perfect for this space. I mean, with Bubble Show and Avenue Q and the Imbible, like these really kind of, interesting, offbeat kind of shows. It's really great. You guys are welcome to the family. When the show was originally being developed, it wasn't the current producers. Was it? Were the actors involved?
Stephen Stout and Colin Waite were our original producers. Stephen Stout's actually in the show. He plays Moody and Ernie Mac and all the teachers.
Oh, cool! Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He's an original producer.
And him and Colin still work on it, but Tilted Windmills now came on, and so they're the producers and the help from the original producers. So they're all involved, and they, so there's so many points of view, like working to make it better and better every iteration.
In terms of actually writing the show, when you guys were workshopping it and things like that, did you have input to the lines?
It's Matt's show, and he wrote this incredible show, but what was really cool about it, between him and Kristen McCarthy Parker, our director, the two of them were really cool about because he was still kind of, before we opened, he was still kind of adding stuff and tweaking things, and he'd be like, actually say this, and he'd give us a new script. And then sometimes, because I come from an improv background, like some of us and others would I would improvise lines, and they'd either be like, don't ever do that again. I'd be like, okay. Or they'd be like, we really like that, keep that. And that still happened when we went to Electro, that's happened here. Like somebody will kind of can I try this, can I do this, or I'm gonna add this thing, and then they'll either be like, no, or they'll be like, I like that, that's really cool. And so we had little input with lines like that. And like I said, that character that I do was completely a thing of Matt was like, I want you to play this thing and we'll have this one thing, and it was completely different. And he's like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. So I just improvised something, and then he loved it, and then he was like, I'm gonna take it out, but I'm gonna find somewhere to put it. And then so he wrote this thing, and he was like, I'm gonna give you this much chunk to improvise every show. And I was like, thank you, that's cool. So it's there was input and stuff like that. But I mean, it is Matt's amazingly written show, and Kristen McCarthy Parker's amazingly directed show and everything like that. Yeah.
One of the cool things about when we've had people come and see it again, when you're a repeat audience member, is that one, his improv is always going to be different. And there's other little spots in the show too for that. But also Matt doesn't like to stop working on it.
Yeah.
He loves to keep tweaking it, because I wasn't there for the original workshopping, but even when we were transferring to the Electra, there was so much new stuff happening at rehearsal all the time for the month that we were rehearsing. And even now in this, transition, he's trying out all kinds of things, because he is always trying to make it better, and his sense of humor with this doesn't stop. He's still in tune with it.
I think that really worked for you. I mean, the repeat, watchability of the show seems to be pretty high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Maddie Bundy, who's in the show, she's also costume designer, set designer, prop designer, and she does an amazing job. And one of the things she always wanted to do was she's like, for people that are coming in new, or people that have seen the show at the Pit and the Electro or whatever coming here, she's like, I want to give them new visuals. I want to do new stuff. I want them to see that this is not just we're just taking our old props and using them. I'm like, no, here's a new and improved thing. Here's new things that we're adding. Here's there's a whole thing about Wayne's shirts that coincide to each year, because it's a nod to what that year was and what it represents and
picked
everything.
that up and
yeah,
it was
did you?
very cool.
Yeah, so she's very. It's
Yeah, it
all
was
very
very
specific.
cool.
Yeah,
But
and it's
that
like
year
for the
was to
fans.
certain kinds of kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And the cool thing is it connected me to the world that I lived in
Yeah.
contemporaneously with what was going on in this certain school, which is a very isolated, obviously fictional environment, but
Yeah.
that connection I thought was really cool.
Oh, the 90s nostalgia is
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, it just brought me
Yeah.
right back to, oh yeah, this guy's actually from a place that I know and was like experiencing things that I experienced. And it was just really great. I mean, those little touches I think really make a big difference. You wanna make a drink?
Yes.
All right, cool. We are gonna make them and we're gonna use these.
Nice. Yeah.
Because it's just apropos, I think, of a lot of the material in your work, and also we're big fans of Crystal Hyde Vodka here.
Yeah.
So why don't you shoot back here,
Around? Okay.
and I'm gonna line these up for you. All right, and we're gonna do, or you're gonna do, my version of fire whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
Do I get to set something on fire?
You do get something on fire.
Oh,
I-
nice,
Absolutely.
I
guys.
should leave.
Incredible.
Really? Do you have a bad history?
trust you.
with,
With
just
fire?
with him.
Oh,
This is
okay.
gonna be great.
So in the speed rail, by your right hand, the first bottle on your left should be some cinnamon schnapps.
Hot damn.
Yeah, hot damn cinnamon schnapps. So you're just gonna do a quick splash of cinnamon schnapps,
Just a
like
splash?
just a quick like a 1 count in each of there, a little bit more. Yeah,
One.
great, perfect.
One.
Good. And then the next bottle right next to it should be dark rum, and you're gonna do about a 2 count of Zaya dark rum.
1, 2.
Great. I love it. Right up to the bridge of the nose.
2.
See how consistent he is? That's awesome.
1, 2.
Steady hand.
Just wait till the fire's involved.
1, 2. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Fabulous. And then the last is Teeling's Irish Whiskey.
Yes.
And take that up to just the below the rim with our Teeling Irish Whiskey.
Below the. Oh, so fill it up a.
Yeah, not quite to the top. Fantastic. Good. See, attention to detail.
No,
It's
beautiful.
it's in your bones.
Guys, I feel like Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
I'm sure that joke's never been made.
It's never been made. I'm original.
All right, you ready for some fire?
Yeah.
Fire, fire, fire. I'm going to move this out of the way so we can get a good shot of it. All right, so you go ahead and take that torch lighter right there. And
Hey.
there you
I
go.
thought you might be joking.
Joke's on you.
And go ahead and
Just kind of.
torch them up.
Just kind of
Yeah, and you want to go right. You're going to have to take a minute and just kind of, you
Oh.
want to heat it up. In order for this proof spirit to burn, you need to warm it up. So that should be good. Yeah, and you can see. Good. And if you go straight down on it, yeah, that one's lit already.
This one?
Yep, perfect. And then this
Okay.
one. Good, good, good. Yeah, perfect. Look at you. And that is our fire whiskey. Now, I'm not a big fan of shots. I normally don't do them, but I couldn't pass this up. So let's just blow them out and you can sip them. And just be very careful here because
from your flaming
it
skull.
is going to be hot, so
Oh, whoops.
blow it out. And whenever you use light alcohol on fire, you can see it's very difficult to see that flame.
Yeah. Oh, it
is?
So
Look at that.
yeah, alcohol burns with a very, very clear blue flame. So you need to blow it out. Yeah, good. And then you want to really take a look at it and make sure that that flame is out. Okay? And if you want to be
happens
really
if we drink it and the flame
safe
isn't out?
about it, what I like to do just to be sure is to take a glass and just do that.
Oh, yeah, just
and
take
then
a
you
rip.
make sure, and the bottom of this is scrupulously clean, as you can see. And that way you make sure that it's safe. And then just take a little finger in there, make sure that it's not too hot to drink. All of our safety precautions are done, and this is our fire whiskey with the cast of PUFFS.
Nice.
It's ingrained.
Yeah, it's so ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nick Carrillo, Andy Miller,
Yes.
James Foey. Did I get everything
you
right?
got it.
Yeah, you
I
did.
love it. Guys, puffstheplay.com and personal website, Twitter, personal, anything you guys want to promote, any other things that you are doing?
Oh, sure. Other things that we're doing too. So my website is just my first name and my last name.com, jamesfoy.com.
You're so lucky.
There's only so many of us. And I also produce a podcast that I'd love to plug if, we're talking about
Please,
other things.
plug away. What is it?
It's called Dragons, Sexy Robots, and Adventures.
I read this in your bio, and I was like, this is the, now I can't use that name because it's taken.
Yes.
That's
Got it.
amazing.
It tells you all the things you need to know about what we're talking about. So that's a lot of fun. DSRApodcast.com if you want to check that out.
DSRA
podcast.com. You just remember Dragons, Sexy Robots, and Adventures. First letters there.
How could I possibly forget that?
Right?
That's genius, man. I'm going to check that out. Awesome. Cool. Nick?
You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Nick Carillo, NickCarillo 77.
Great.
Yeah.
And I'm at Andy Miller.
I love it. Thank you so much. Please come see my show anytime
Yes.
you guys want.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to send, my cast is like champing at the bit, so
Yeah.
you'll meet the entire cast.
Send them
I'm
our
quite
way.
sure.
Tell them to come say hello afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, thanks so much for tuning into Broadway Bartender here with the cast of PUFFS. BroadwayBartender.com, links, recipes. Watch us again next week. Drink well, drink responsibly. And I forgot to do that again. I know, it's like actually a thing, right? Thank you so much, guys. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, really cool.
Seriously, yeah,
Can't
great.
finish this because I have to
Yeah.
do a show.
Right.
But it'll,
I got to do a show. Oh, wait, I do.
So we're gonna do some pictures now. If you want to take either of those drinks, and we'll just jump back there with us and then the
That was
producer.
like a flaming mo.
Yeah, it's like a
Cool.
flaming mo.
It's George and Martha and their gay son, Fancy Pants son, and his partner, who's a landscaper from Costa Rica. You know, add Pinot Grigio and cook.
It's not a flattering portrayal of anybody.
Have they read the script?
Yes, that's very interesting. They read it. My mother read it. She was the first person to read it. And you know, it's worse when someone reads what you've written, because you can't just like go to another room or go to Bermuda. You know, you have to like sit there. She's reading it, and I hear her laughing. She got the cigarette going. Oh God, oh my! And then the tears start coming, and she had a whole experience. And she read the play, and she said, "Jimmy, do I really act this way?" And I said, "Yeah, Mom, you do." She said, "I will never act that way again. I promise you, I will never act that way again."